Hey, what's up guys, it's Graphic Phoenix back again with another video today, and today we're setting up the shrimp tank. So for everyone wondering, this is how I set up my shrimp tank, and this is what I've been told. I've researched a ton from it. First, I'm just going to go through exactly what you're going to need, and then we're going to do the whole setting up process and everything that goes with it. So let's get started. First off, the base. I'm going to be using a little bit of ADA power sand, but the majority of it is going to be ADA Amazonia aqua soil, and I have a giant bag. I'm not sure how much that's going to put, but I just have a small 10-gallon tank. The reason I'm picking the ADA Amazonia is because it's enriched with organic acids as well as nutrients for growing plants, and it's also inert, so you're not going to be changing the pH. Next up, we have the B-Max, which is basically a mix of enzymes, and it's called chitosan. Chitosan, I'm not sure exactly what it is. What this does is basically it helps water quality. It also promotes growth and enriched coloration in your shrimp, as well as it helps when they're molting, both young and adult shrimp. Then we'll move over to the other mineral powder, Myronecton powder. I can't say it, I'm sorry. It's basically a mineral supplement for shrimp that improves water quality and just maintains general health. So for dosing wise, I'm going to be using most of this whole thing for my whole 10-gallon, and this is a 50-gram pack, but I won't have to treat it for 6 months after that, and this I'll be sprinkling on the bottom as well as in the middle. So next thing we have is the Multifunction Beeramid. It's basically a porous ceramic shelter. It provides a place for shelter, breeding, as well as nesting and just living. But being so porous, it actually houses a lot of beneficial bacteria for your tank. So it's definitely another source of filtration. Next thing we have is Chola Wood, which is actually, people in Arizona or in the desert probably have seen this. This is actually just basically a dead cactus. And all this does is, it's a great place for plants. It's a super good anchor, as well as it grows a lot of biofilm for the shrimp themselves. It also releases tannins, and the driftwood and almond leaves all release tannins, so it helps with water quality. Next thing we have is Indian almond leaves. These almond leaves have many different benefits for your tank. A couple of those properties are they're antifungal, antibacterial. They also provide a great source of food, of long-term food, because biofilm builds on them, and that's what shrimp like to eat. As well as when the leaf starts to break down, the shrimp will actually eat it as well. And finally, last but not least, is driftwood. This is mainly for biofilm, as well as it releases tannins. It houses beneficial bacteria. And another great thing that I'm going to be using it for is an anchor for the Java fern. So guys, let's not waste any more time, and let's get started. So here we are with the first two ingredients that are going in. The additives to the tank, the subsoil additives, whatever you want to call them. It actually comes with a tiny little spoon, and that's what I'm going to use to sprinkle it all across the bottom of the tank. Now keep in mind, this is an ADA 10-gallon aquarium. You'll see how much exactly I'm sprinkling over the whole surface, but he said it's going to be most of this bag, if not the whole bag. Alright, so I think that's a pretty generous layer of the mineral powder. Now we can go to the B-Max. The B-Max is quite a lot more concentrated, so we're not going to need to do quite as big of a layer. So I did probably 10 spoonfuls of that at the bottom. Now, when I was given this tank, I was actually given it, well, I bought this tank. I was actually given some of the medium grain power sand. So I'm going to put that in here as well. I'm going to try and keep it away from any of the glass so I don't have to see a very big grain difference between this aqua sand and the normal substrate. Alright, so now the 88 power sand is in there, and you can see how big a grain it is. Now for a planted tank, you're going to want to be doing 2 inches of substrate. And I don't have one of those fancy tools, but a common look in a fish tank is to have it slope towards the back. So I think that looks pretty good. I'll get rid of the glare for you guys. And the glare's back again. But there's a good layer in there. It's quite thick. Not quite so thick at the front, but it's pretty dark at the back. I know there's a lot of reflections right now, but my room is very bright, so I'm sorry for that. So first things first, you want to find a spot for all the decorations in your tank. I have that piece of driftwood that I showed you, and then the shrimp keeper's cave, the bee cave, is going to go over here in a little bit of lower part. Indian almond leaf in there, and now the chola wood. That is hardscape. Alright, so I'm back from work and we are looking. I have the LEDs on and we are getting ready to go. I picked up a couple more plants at work. I picked up some dwarf hairgrass as well as some taxiphyllum flame moss and the crypt balance. So first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to make sure that you get everything wet. You wet it all down. You have water in the tank. You'll see how far my water level goes up. Then we can get started. And something you're going to want to do is have like a water break. So I actually have some leftover Indian almond leaves as well as some just plastic bags. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to start siphoning in water right now. So first I'm going to be planting the crypt balance. There's 3 separate plants here, and they're going right behind the drip. So we've got the crypts planted. Next we're going to go for Java Fern. Alright, so I do have some Java Fern right here. And where I'm going to be placing those is in the Chola Wood, as well as behind. Hey guys, so here it is. It's very, very, very early in the morning. And I finished up the tank. It's running pretty good right now. The filter's on pretty high flow, so I'm going to probably turn it down a little. It's actually just like priming itself, so it's just kind of getting all the air bubbles out, as you can hear there. It's being pretty loud right now, but I'm hoping that'll slow down a little bit. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the setup of my shrimp tank. I'll be adding live animals later on. They won't be coming right away, but hopefully soon they'll be coming and everybody can enjoy them. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you like the video, comment any comments that you might have, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Thanks for watching. Graphic Phoenix, out of here.